I think most people, maybe including myself, or our mouth water or breathing will have germs anyhow. I don't know why. That's what they reported, no? The scientists, they have researched and they found that people's mouth water have a lot of bacteria. Huh? So when people kiss each other, they exchange a lot of bacteria. And it's a very generous amount. But even then, I'm very afraid to give you the food that's left over for me. So whatever's left over, I just throw it away. Because in case I'm sick and I give it to you, I don't know. So mostly I just throw the leftover food away. Yeah. But according to that research, I don't have that many bacteria. So in case if you happen to pick any of my leftover, don't worry about it. Yeah. Really. I just know that by accident. I didn't really have a blood test just to know that I don't have bacteria in my body. It just happened that I was very sick at that time. It was not very seriously sick. It was just an allergy, that makes you grow red pimples on your body and it's itching. So I didn't want to go everywhere and look like a monkey, Huh? So even though it was not very, very serious, but it wasn't very good looking. So I had to go and check up with the doctor after I took so many medicines and it didn't help. So I have to go and find out what is it and what medicine is the best. Because you can't just keep going taking medicine forever. Sometimes over-the-counter medicine doesn't help you. Then you must go to the doctor and have a thorough checkup to see what it is. Sometimes you take too much medicine, it doesn't help you. And on the contrary, it harms your body, huh? So if you take a few and it doesn't help, then you must go to the specialist, huh? And that's what I did. And that's how I found out that I don't have a lot of bacteria in my body. It's a very few. For the doctor to say that means really few. Because I had to throw a blood test, everything. I have a big chart, very long chart, with all kinds of things on on. Everything 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, bacteria few. Things like that. So now we go back to the land of Egypt. Huh? We come back to Moses and his master. So because Moses saw the baby drowning and the master coolly stood by and didn't do anything, even though Moses begged him for magical power and things like that. But the master did not help. But because he promised his master to keep silent, so he had to keep silent. But then he was very troubled and criticizing the master in his heart all the time. Even though he knew this is not correct to criticize the master, but then he couldn't help to stop it. And he couldn't dispel all this negative thinking about the master for a long period of time. And then during the course of their wandering, around the country. Sometimes, perhaps they go around to see other disciples, things like that. Before, they didn't have cars like today, so probably they had to go on foot. Or sometimes they have to go on horse carts and things like that if they have money. Perhaps the two didn't have that much, so they were wandering around on foot. One day they came to the seashore, and then they both saw a boat sinking with the whole crew members. So Moses' big mouth couldn't help but open again. So he said, "Look, master, the whole boat is sinking. Did you see that? And the whole crew members are sinking. Can you do something about it?" Again. So the master said, "Shh, keep silent." That's all he said. So Moses, of course, didn't say anything else and kept silent. But his criticizing thoughts were increasing manifold. Very troubled was his heart. Very, very heavy and troubled. So when he got back home, he complained, not to the master, but to God. He Say, God, you told me to follow this guy. But you don't know what kind of guy he is. God said, don't talk nonsense. How do I not know? And Moses says to him, but you don't know, God. He saw a child dying, and he saw a whole ship sinking with the whole crew, 30-odd people on it, all dying, and he didn't do anything, not even move in his heart or blink his eyes. That's the kind of person that guy was. And you told me to follow him. So God said to him, it's you who doesn't know. The child who was drowning was the person who was meant to bring a very great war between two nations, in which many hundreds of thousands of people would have died and millions wounded. So it was good that the disaster befell him and that he drowned, saving a lot of people's lives. And as for that sinking ship, that was the ship of the pirates. And the pirates supposed to go and make a very big plunder near the seashore port, very near where the ship sank. So it was good that the ship sank and all the pirates died. So to save the people of that town, not to be robbed and not to be killed and raped and all kinds of bad things done to them by these pirates. So now you know, all the innocent people have been saved by the incidents of a baby drowning and a sinking pirate ship. So now you must know. So, of course, Moses kept his mouth shut, finally, and his inside mouth shut. That is important. Not that because outside he doesn't speak, that inside he's quiet, as you have seen before. So you see, Moses was supposed to be a future master, of some kind at least. And then, during the disciple apprenticeship, he has been such a difficult and ignorant student. Can you imagine how much harder it is for any master to teach ordinary mankind with lesser intelligence and lesser wisdom and lesser merit? Because to be a master, he must be a very great man, a lot of merit, and a lot of wisdom already, very high-level person. And now to teach such a high-level person, the master must go through a lot of hardship like this. You just think Moses obeyed him and kept silent, that's good enough? No, it's not. It's not what he does outside. It's what's inside that will project sometimes harmful energy and sometimes very discomforting energy to the master. But even though the master kept silent and bear it all, doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. It might not hurt the body of the master, but it might hurt the mentality or the energy field of the master. Not the wisdom of the master, and not the compassion and the love, and not the real person of the master, but it hurts his mental ability, maybe. Maybe it hurts even his body. If something is too great a burden for a mental ability to bear, then it will come down and affect the body as well, after all. So the mental and physical both will be affected if the energy is so strong and so negative. And mostly, when a disciple is so close, such as Moses, to his master, then this energy will affect him very, very, very strongly and very directly, and is very unbearable. But the master, of course, will keep silent and don't talk about it. And since there is no evidence anyhow, because Moses kept silent, nobody will know that he is attacking the master with his mental projection, which is just as hard-hitting as any physical beating outside. Believe me. That's how all the black magicians can kill people from far away, by just projecting their mental negativity and killing order to that person from far away. They concentrate their mind and then they just kill anybody from very far away. That can be done. Still can be done nowadays, even in Taiwan. Or sometimes when you love each other, you even far away from each other, but you know, you can feel each person's loving vibration sending back and forth. Yeah, so that's a mental projection is very strong and important. As much as the physical, we cannot say that Moses didn't do anything to the master. He did. So sometimes we accuse the people who killed Lord Jesus on the cross, and who abuse his physical body. But we have forgotten many more who abuse him mentally, which is just as much painful, or sometimes it's even more painful. Is that not so? Yes. Now, do you see that? It's very difficult to follow a master, Yeah. But perhaps because Moses was destined to be a leader of his people, to lead people out of Egypt, therefore he has been tested so strongly. If he was an ordinary disciple, they would probably not seen such a scene like this, where the master has to stand by helplessly and seeing a baby drowning, things like that. Probably you have been tested more severely. Have you? No, I have never intentionally tested you. Maybe God did. Or whatever you think that I test you, it's just you testing yourself. I'm just living a very natural life. Whatever I have to do at that time, I do it. Whatever I feel like doing at that time, if it doesn't harm other people, I just do it. All right? If it's good for me, good for other people, and doesn't harm anyone, then I do it. So there's no testing for you at all. Not for me. If there's any test, it's from you and or from God. And that story is not very funny, Was it funny? Nah. Nah. Okay, I find another funny story for you. Yeah, some people think if I grow my hair and then they say, oh, master test me. What for do I test him? If I want to grow my hair, I grow it. If I want to shave it, I shave it. What it has got to do with him? Right? But I think it's a big test. Yes. For them to accept me with long hair or short hair or no hair. That's their nonsense problem. And sometimes I wear beautiful clothes and they say, oh, master, test me again. What for shall I test him with such beautiful things? If my master would test me with things like that, I would feel very good. Oh, do test more. Make me see more beautiful clothes. Okay. Okay, there's another story. It's very beautiful. This is more beautiful story. There was a young man in training to become a priest or monk. You know, priest. Christian, they call him a priest. Buddhist, they call him a monk. Actually, both of them are similar in rank and job and ability. Oh, not in ability, but perhaps sometimes same, sometimes not. But both priests and monks must work very hard, must learn the doctrine of Christianity or Buddhism, must dedicate all his or her life to the service of mankind in whatever way God arranged for him, and not think of his own personal problem or property or family or friends. It must be for everybody.